What's going on, y'all? Polo Sports Talking ENT. Um, Make sure y'all hit the like, sub, comment, notifications. You know the deal. You know the drill, man. And look on this channel. Um, we get into things, man, that I think it's fair to say that we all know about, but some of us tend to be very dismissive about it. They don't want it. They don't want to discuss it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to, face the music, if you will, about this. But we have to understand that this is something that really has to be put out there to not only, some people, they sit here and they say that they're woke, but it's not necessarily about even being being woke. Okay, it's not just primarily about that, but it's about actually, doing something, about the cause. Okay, now when we talk about heart disease, okay, uh, let me tell you that heart disease is the number one killer in Americans uh, right now, and we are the leaders of it. My African American, really the African American males, uh, we're the leaders in heart disease right now. Okay, uh, it's a combination of several different things, but we're very dismissive about it. And look at our culture. Look at what we eat. Look at the stress level that tends to take place in our environment. Okay, and not a lot of people understand that stress has a lot to do with things such as coronary heart disease and heart failure. Okay, um, you know, I understand that a lot of us, we have relatives that have uh, been involved in this. Okay, um, I understand that some of us have relatives that have actually transitioned because of this. Okay, but it's, to me, if we don't talk about it and we don't address it, how can we ever get better at this? Um, you know, I don't I don't understand why a lot of our people, we tend to ignore the fact that African Americans, males, are the leaders of heart disease in the United States of America, and also heart disease is the number one killer. Well, really, cardiovascular disease is the number one killer around the world, according to 2020 uh, statistics and a study upon doing that. Uh, you know, it's it's said that you know, when you when you really break everything down and uh, you really do your studying, you got to understand that one person dies every 36 seconds in the United States from cardiovascular disease. Okay, 655,000 Americans die from heart disease each year. That's one in four deaths. Okay, and this is going to be staggering right here. 18.2 million adults aged 20 and older have cardiovascular disease. That's roughly 6.7%, and about 2 in 10 deaths from cardiovascular disease happen in adults less than 65 years old. So let's stop right there. What does that tell you? That's telling you that a lot of our elderly, a lot of our senior citizens. What's up, Marco Hinton? I see you in the building. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that too because it all correlates together, Marco. High blood pressure. The reason why they want you to get your blood pressure down, man, is because if if your blood pressure is high, you're at risk for a heart attack. You're at risk for stroke. You're at risk for blood clots anywhere. You're at risk for even heart disease. You understand what I'm saying? But we just ignore it with what we're eating. Now, look, I'm not here to sit up here and say, okay, well, I'm this perfect guy or this genius or any of that. But I damn sure try. I damn sure try. I damn sure try. You know, um, we're leading right now, according to the studies. Uh, black African Americans, African American males are leading right now in terms of deaths due to heart disease, because heart disease is the leading cause for people of most racial and ethnic groups in the United States. Okay, and we come first. We come first. Uh, when you think about the medical conditions and our lifestyles that are involved, it includes diabetes. Okay, people that have diabetes, that runs in my family. Okay, like Marco was just saying just a minute ago, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking. Okay, you're at risk factors when you smoke. Look, I'm not trying to sit up here and tell anybody, okay, what you should or shouldn't be doing, but you're at you're at higher risk if you do smoke. Unhealthy diet. I don't need to tell you anything about that, in terms of what our people are eating. You know, uh, the sweets. You know what I'm saying? The peach cobbler, the collard greens, the chitlins, the candy yams. You know what I'm saying? The fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? You name it. Uh, fried fish, fried this, fried that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, pork, a lot of pork. You know, just constantly eating meat. And don't get me started. I've already talked about processed and refined sugars and just sugar, 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 and then and salt too. It goes hand in hand. Uh, People that don't get in the gym on a regular, or at least some sort of physical activity, because as I've said before, you don't have to have no gym, but it's just as long as you active, because physical inactivity is a cause of it. Excessive drinking. I know a lot of people say that drinking is good, for your heart, and to some degree in moderation it is, but not if you overdo it. Not if you overdo it, because if you drink, they say that drinking a little bit of wine or occasional beer reduces strokes. You know what I'm saying? And what is the result of strokes is due to having uh, heart disease, or high blood pressure, really, because it all correlates together. And I just want to say this too. I should have said this in the beginning. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any type of physician. I'm not any of that. I'm just a person here to promote awareness. What's up, Matt Moses? I haven't forgot, man. I'm gonna talk about college football today. I'm gonna talk about it. Don't you worry. We got that lined up. We're gonna talk about some football today. College today is pretty much the day for some big games to take place. But we're gonna dive into that. Now, 1 in 5 heart attacks is silent. Okay, a lot of people don't know that one in 5 heart attacks are silent. And that's one of the reasons why they call high blood pressure the silent killer. And over 200,000 people happen who have already had a heart attack. You know, about every year, about 805,000 Americans have a heart attack altogether. So you have to understand, in the United States, someone has a heart attack every 40 seconds. And don't think just because, okay, well, I'm young, it can't happen to me. Nah, you're not exempt from that. Because as I've said, it's for people who are under the age of 65. It's for people that are under the age of 65. Um, and this was a study a while back. It was in 2020. It said that African Americans were 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. And it also says, although African American adults are 40% more likely to have high blood pressure, they are less likely than whites to have their blood pressure under control. So let's stop right there. You see, we don't do anything to manage any of the issues that we have. A lot of people, they know that they have these issues. They know that these issues need to be addressed, but yet and still they don't never do it. They never take control of anything. If you know that you have some issues, such as heart disease, such as high blood pressure, anything that they come in there and they approach you and they tell you about, you need to address it. Don't sit up there and be one of those ones talking about, okay, well, if I got something, I'd rather not just know. I'll tell you a story. I had an uncle who was at a family reunion one time, and we were all sitting out there, and we were just having a discussion about life, just life in general. And health is always something that comes up, especially when you get older, and especially when you just you start, you might have had a near death experience to some degree. But he was just saying that, something don't feel right. I'm not feeling right, man. But I don't want to go to the doctor because I just rather not know. And one of the kinfolks just told him straight up, that's one of the dumbest things that you could do. That's one of the dumbest things that you could do. If 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 you have any type of intuition or you have a bad feeling that something's up, then you need to go ahead and you need to go find out what it is. Because I mean, it might not be that bad as bad as you think, and you might catch it in time, whatever it is. And it might be, it might be a quick fix. It may take a little longer. But the thing about it is that as a as a culture, you know what I'm saying, we so stuck in this pride of not wanting to take medicine, not wanting to we want to be able to, manage things ourselves and everything like that. Well, you need to find out. And listen, you don't have to listen. A lot of people think that, okay, if I get on medicine, that's going to be the end of my life, or I have to take medicine. No, you could manage it, but it would be a little bit harder if you're going to do it without medicine, because if you have underlying issues, and and I think that a lot of people, it's fair to say that, with the situation that we got going on right now, it's taking out a lot of people that have underlying issues, you know, and it's because they're continuing to be stubborn about what they eat, be stubborn with their lifestyle. You know, uh, African American women are 60% more likely to have high blood pressure as compared to white women. That's 60%. That's a dominating ratio. That's not just a little bit. So the risk factors, the risk factors are there. And some people don't really, they don't take the time to really understand that this can be done. This can be beat. This can be beat. Now, the reason why it's so common in us in our culture is because, for one, the cost barriers to quality health care. Um, because you got to take in consideration the social and economic factors amongst our culture as well. We got a higher poverty rate. I already mentioned the poor diet quality. The availability of nutritious and healthful food, low adherence to recommended physical activity due to working two or more low-paying jobs with no time for exercise, and neighborhood walkability. You know, uh, see, but a lot of that stuff right there, we tend to have that in our mind and just say, okay, yeah, that's what it is, and people have that attitude like it is what it is. No, you got to change that. These are social and economic factors coupled with the fact that environmental determinants of health that negatively impact our people's well-being, and they lead to conditions like heart disease. You know, um, my brothers, we are at higher risk for heart disease than any other ethnic group. 48% of African American women and 44% of African American men have some form of heart disease, and some of them don't even know it. The rate of heart disease is also higher in the growing middle and upper class African American communities than in the white communities. So let's stop right there. You see, a lot of y'all, man, a lot of y'all. What's up with it, TJ Boston? I'll see you in the building. Y'all sit up here and think that once you've made it, oh, you know what? That's it. Gotta stop exercising. Gotta stop eating right. You can eat whatever you want. When really, that's the time really when you should be going harder. A lot of people they be, they get in a different tax bracket and they figure, okay, I could stop doing the stuff that I was doing before when I was in the lower tax bracket. It's kind of like when you're struggling, you know what I'm saying? You grow up in the hood and you got that fight and you got that you hungry. You understand what I'm saying? You want to succeed and stuff. You working out as hard as you can. You're eating right. You dieting at a point to where you sacrificing a lot and everything. But then once you become rich, once you get all this money, everything's so available to you that it's impossible for you to turn everything down. Well, that's what you start doing with your body. And see, when you do that sort of thing, then you forget about some of the stuff, the, just the minor things, the simple minor things that you used to take care of. Hell, some of y'all forget to go to the doctor. Some of y'all figure, okay, well, I'd have made it. I'd have made it, this far. When really you should be investing everything into your health. When you become in a different tax bracket, or you start m- making a little bit more money, or you become more wealthy, it should be the complete opposite. It should be the complete opposite. But everybody sits here and they think, okay, well, it's not going to happen to me. Uh, I'm young and everything like that. Just because you're young, that doesn't make you exempt for anything. This isn't just for old people. This doesn't just apply for old people. This applies for old and young. There's young people dying out here of this too. But no nobody want to listen to that. They think I got everything under control. You could continue on with fried chicken and fried okra every single day. You could continue on, think you could continue on with drinking soda after soda all day. Not drinking no kind of water, not doing any type of fasting, not doing any type of cardio. Do if you breathing hard, that means that it's good for your body. You have the option to stop. It's not like you playing football or basketball where if you stop, somebody's gonna end up taking your spot or anything like that. Just go ahead and stop, take a break, and get back into it and get better the next day. But see, if you neglect your cardio, if you neglect any type of strenuous work, you're not going to force a change into your body. And that's what we have to do. You have to force a change into your body. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Your inside is just as important as your outside. Everybody's so worried about their physique and how you look, or you want the 12, the 8 pack, or the 12 pack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When really you shouldn't even be worried about worried about that. You need to kick the 12 pack that you're drinking. You know what I'm saying? You need to kick whatever habits that you're doing, that you're consuming inside, that's making your heart bad. If you smoking, cut down on that shit. Cut down on it. I'm not here to tell you, to stop doing what you do, because that's easier said than done. I had I had two guys that were able to kick the habit. One guy took a little bit longer than the other. He smoked cigarettes and he used to smoke Black and Miles. He smoked both of them, and he said the reason why he had stopped smoking was because he went to he went to like this. I think he went to like a it was a gun expo, but he saw the guy and he had a hole in his neck, like a hole in his Adam's apple or whatever. And you know, he'll remember seeing that from somebody that had did years and years of smoking and everything, and that's what made him kick the habit of smoking cigarettes or whatnot. Because you know the sensation is good. The sensation of smoking is good, you know, to some people. It's relaxing and it's addictive, but you got to understand that your heart is not built for that type of stuff. It's not built for you know, constant stress. It's not built for, you know, stuff that's going to damage it, because your heart is a muscle, and not many people realize that. And running and smoking don't mix neither. A lot of these people think that, you know, running and smoking mix. They don't mix it, and it catches up with you. It catches up with you sooner or later. It might not happen then, but it might not happen right away. But eventually, it'll catch up with you. Um, you know, here are some of the risk factors for heart disease. Um, like I said earlier, high blood pressure or hypertension, of course, diabetes, high cholesterol level, obesity, sleep apnea, sleep disorders, um, and I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. And you know, look, these risk factors are unfortunately more common in our brothers than than other races, even at a younger age. Okay, and it can also cause silent organ damage and heart disease even before they are sometimes diagnosed. So let's stop right there, okay? You know, that goes back to what I said earlier. Now I'm gonna talk about the sleep for a minute. You like I was just talking about earlier when I did polar motivation in terms of laziness. I said you got to get your rest. Do not deprive yourself of sleep. Do not deprive yourself of sleep. When you don't sleep and you don't get your rest, it does so much. It does so much justice in a negative way to your body. And this is one of the results of it. You not sleeping. We all want to sit up here. You know, I don't get tired. I don't get tired on our Kevin Gates. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kevin Gates and stuff like that. But believe it or not, man, that's really not good for you. Get you some sleep, man. Get your ass to bed. If you were sleeping, you know, 1 to 2 hours, try to make it a, you know, try to double it up. Try to say, okay, I'm gonna get at least 4 hours of sleep. You know, you want to reach that true REM of sleep, not just like, you know, oh yeah, I'll sleep one eye up. No, no, you don't want to do that, because then look what happens. Then something end up happening with you at the heart. You start feeling yourself. You start feeling, you know, like heart trouble, or you know, the doctor tells you, you know, hey, This is going on or that's going on. Well, you have to go back and think, okay, what type of lifestyle am I living? Am I getting enough rest? Am I stressing about this? Do I have this going on? You got to think about that sort of thing. You have to think about that sort of thing. Uh, and then another thing that I mentioned too was about, the silent organ damage. You have to make sure that that's why it's important for you to go do your checkup, go to your routine and go get your checkup. Don't laugh at them people that's constantly going to the doctor, constantly going to go get checked up and everything like that. I used to have this one dude, man, he used to be like I would tell him, okay, yeah, I'm finna go to the doctor and everything like that. The first reaction people say, what, you sick? No, I'm not sick. I'm just making sure that I'm going to the doctor to make you listen. Just because somebody is going to the doctor, that don't necessarily mean that that person's sick. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person's sick. Th- they're going there just to make sure that they're okay. That if there's any issues, they can address it. Because if there is an issue, they can catch it or detect it early. You understand what I'm saying? Because my wife, when she had got sick or whatnot, we caught it in time. We had caught it in time, and that's us going to the physician and making sure and just staying on top of everything. So don't, man, if people are questioning you, okay, well, what you sick or something like that, you don't need to be around those type of people, because those people don't even care about themselves. They're not willing to go to the doctor. They don't care about, if they don't have any type of health insurance or anything like that, and they don't plan on getting any, man, you a fool. And I know with the situation with the with the country that's going on right now, it's it's a little bit difficult. They really don't want to see you unless it's like a crucial emergency, or you got an issue that is a life or death situation. They really don't want to see you, but you do whatever you can to try to stay on top of your health. If they can see you, go. If they're booked and you can't get in until later, then just take that day. But you have to get in there. Um, other risk factors have directly and indirectly contributed to the higher burden of disease among African Americans, including cost barriers to quality health care, uh, higher uninsured rate, low level of education, higher poverty rate, poor diet, low level exercise, and other environmental barriers to physical activity. Look, they're gonna say that. They're gonna say that about us, but our culture, we creative. We are creative. We can make workouts. If we don't have enough money, we make a way out of no way. You know, if education is a problem, we can't go to the school. What do? Shoot, we read on, we do our own research on our own. Okay, they make up a lot of examples. See, they're gonna say that neighborhoods with lower income and high proportions of race minorities are likely to lack public and commercial facilities for physical activity, walkability, and safe green space. Um, there's no excuses for that. You know, if you live in a mess, or you used to live in a messed up neighborhood, uh, find try your best to get up out of there, or go in the house and go do some activity. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. We make all these little different excuses, and society tried to make all these different excuses for us just so that they could keep us unhealthy. And really, I'm gonna be real with you. They are feeding us this unhealthy food, such as these fast food places and these places that we go, just so that they could kill, they could kill us quicker, and it's just a fact. All that stuff that you consuming is good. Like what they say, all money ain't good money. Well, shoot, all food ain't good food. All fast food ain't good food. It might taste good, but the end result, you're gonna have a lifetime of hell to deal with in the future. Uh, and it also talks about poverty neighborhoods also have fewer supermarkets and specialty food stores, resulting in limited uh, ability availability of fresh and healthy food. Even when present, these foods are more expensive compared to traditional foods that are higher in fat, calorie, and sodium content. Listen, that's no excuse there either. Let me tell you like this. If you go to the okay, you said I just came back from the doctor because I've been having back pain. They gave me some anti-inflammatory medicine and muscle relaxer to take for 2 weeks. Well, I hope you get better, man. Um, your that back is crucial, Marco. That back is crucial. But and just take your medicine. Now, me, Marco, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not into uh medicine, in terms of science or anything like that. I believe in natural healing. But if they told you to take it and it's gonna be beneficial for you, just go ahead and get it over with, and get it done. But see, you did the right thing by going to your doctor and everything. Some people ignore going to a physician. Even though I believe in natural, I still go to the doctor because, they have, they have this they've done the studying and know quite a bit more than what the person does. But the minute they automatically just want to shove medicine into you or give to you or something like that, that doctor, you might want to question what he's doing because I know that my physician, when I went to go see my cardiologist and I went to go see my heart doctor, you know, he gives you an option of he lets his patients know, okay, hey, look, if you ever get into a situation where you need some medicine, I give you an option. You could do it the healthy way or you could do it the unhealthy way. A lot of people don't understand that there are different doctors that do different things. You know what I'm saying? And see, I try to make sure that I go to a specific, each specific doctor. Like, hey, I don't feel this. This ain't feeling right or that ain't feeling right. You can't just go to just a general, a physician. You know what I'm saying? Because then they're gonna find out what the problem is, and then they're gonna recommend you to this specific doctor. You understand what I'm saying? So, uh, I don't, I don't never just, oh yeah, give me the medicine. That's not my mentality. That's not my mentality. You know, another thing that we got to look at too is, uh, sodium content. Like I can't tell you how much, our culture we so reliant on salt and sugar as well. Gotta slow down on the salt because salt raises your blood pressure. Like a lot of people don't know this. Like if you drink a lot of Gatorade, yes, and Powerade, that stuff ain't good for you because of the sodium content and the long term health effects that Gatorade and Powerade have on you. Yeah, it might be replenishing at that moment, but it's really not good for you. Because I remember I was drinking Gatorade a long, long time ago, and my blood pressure was significantly it had raised, and they were asking me if I drank a lot of Gatorade and a lot of Powerade and stuff like that, and I said yeah, but this is before I stopped drinking. That's why I don't. That's one of the reasons why I don't drink it anymore. Besides some other stuff, and I'm gonna do a live on that one day about Gatorade and Powerade too. You know, uh, for those of y'all that don't know, I don't just talk about, like I said, I don't just get into sports on this channel. It's about raising awareness, and I am health conscious, like any other person, should be. Every person that wants to, do enjoy the fruits of life should be health conscious. If you're not health conscious and you're around me, I don't. I'm gonna make you be health conscious. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not a health nut to the point where if you drink, you smoke or something like that. I'm not gonna be an extremist and be like, oh man, get that out of my face, or you shouldn't be doing it. I'm not gonna do any of that. You make your own decision. But I know as for me and the people that are around me, the majority of the people around me, they take their health seriously. These contents are known to worsen and burden subsequent optimal control risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, obesity, and it's worsening the epidemic of heart disease. Uh, Cumulative effects of all these factors can be harmful to the cardiovascular health of African Americans and other races and minorities, but they're not talking about them. We're talking about us. Um, the national death rate for heart disease has gradually declined for all ethnic groups, but for African Americans, it has remained 20% higher compared to white Americans. Now, studies have shown that over a quarter, about 28% of all heart disease deaths among African Americans occurred in those aged 65 and younger, compared with 13% among white Americans of similar age. That's staggering. You understand what I'm saying? 28% compared to 13%. And see, that's what y'all got to understand too is that we our culture is built different. We built different. We not here to just uh, eat whatever and drink whatever. No, that's not what our bodies were designed to do. Now, white people, yeah, Caucasian people, they could handle all that stuff. They could eat this and eat that and stuff like that, and then be fine. That's why they could take all the medicine stuff like that. But for us, we can't do that. Our bodies were designed really to eat fresh fruits and vegetables and eat as clean as possible. But somehow we got lost in all of that, and they blame they blame the the uh, the people that fed us scraps, from the pig and the insides of the pig and chicken and see, this is another thing too. A chicken eats worse than a pig, but what do we constantly eat? We constantly, we consume that chicken. If that's been pumped with steroids, or you know, eating that pig that eats pretty much everything. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, in terms of what you consuming, you got to think about where it's going and what it's going to have an impact on. And it's going to have an impact on your heart. It's going to have an impact on your heart, man. But some people they don't look at it like that. Other studies have suggested that there's a possibility of unaccounted factors outside of clinical and socioeconomic factors that may explain higher cardiovascular disease rate, especially among young to middle-aged African Americans. Over 28% of all cardiovascular deaths among African Americans occurred in those ages 65 or younger, compared to 13% among whites, and that was the Nutrition Examination Survey. You know, so what are some things that we could do to lower the risk of heart disease? That's basically what we want to do. I'm raising awareness, but we could fix this thing. Okay, have confidence in yourself. We could get this done. Uh, the first recommendation too, man, is to know your numbers and get regular checkups. Look, I know some of y'all are young, but a lot of y'all ain't young. Look, if you 25 or older, go get your heart checked. If you 30, go get your heart checked. If you 35, get your ass in there. Be screened and be informed. You know, uh, the United States Preventative Services Task Force recommends screening for high blood pressure in those 18 years and older. So just because you 19, just because you 20, don't say I'm good. No, go get your blood pressure checked, because it's recommended to screen for abnormal blood glucose as a part of cardiovascular risk assessment in adults from ages 40 to 70. Okay, and there's increased um, advisory to screen for abnormal blood glucose at an earlier age in our culture. It's important to work with your provider to keep your blood pressure and your high cholesterol levels under control. Uh, if you have health insurance, there are ongoing community partnerships with non-governmental organizations and faith-based communities offering cardiovascular risk screening, and they provide necessary information to reduce the risk of heart disease, along with referrals to community resources and for those diagnosed with heart disease or have a risk factors for those. So you got your resources there. There's no excuses. Make sure you take your prescribed medications. If they tell you that they got something for you, just take the medication. If you don't feel like taking the medication, be like, okay, what are the other alternatives that I can do? Because not everybody wants to take uh, medication. Uh, this is another thing too. I know. See, my cousin and my aunt, they had issues with blood clot. Make sure you monitor unusual leg pain. Experiencing leg pain in the leg while walking, that improves with rest, but it may signify artery disease, and you gotta make sure that you stay on top of that. All right. And another thing is, this is easier said than done, but I always been talking about this. Y'all probably tired of me talking about this, but you gotta stay active. Okay. 150 minutes per week. That's 30 minutes a day, or 75 minutes per week. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you do, it's got to be moderate intensity, or if you're going to do 75 minutes, which is 15 minutes, then you want to make sure that it's rigorous, intensity, and this is to reduce the risk of heart disease and even death. You got to stay physically fit because it helps you keep your weight control, and it reverses early diabetes, high cholesterol, and helps improve high blood pressure. You know, you know the walking 10 minutes a day, walking 10 minutes 3 times a day. You don't kill 30 minutes right there, just walking. If you don't want to do anything else, just walk. You know, make sure that you keep your weight healthy, and make sure that you're eating a balanced diet. You know, uh, eating a healthy diet is important to reducing the risk of heart disease and its risk factors. You know, and look, the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology recommends that a diet that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, uh, low fat dairy products, poultry, fish, legumes, and non tropical oils, vegetable oils, and nuts. Now, uh, me personally, like with the dairy's not for everybody. Really, we shouldn't be consuming dairy, but I get into that. That's a whole nother story. We shouldn't be eating anything that comes from a cow, really. Like in terms of dairy nor meat. But like I said, unless it's grass fed, limit the use of deep frying and other cooking techniques that are common with traditional soul food. Now that's gonna be hard for some people because some people love their food fried, but you want to try to stick to baking, or eat your food like raw, not the meat, but like eat your vegetables raw. There's a lady by the name of Annette Larkin. She's in her like 70s, going on her 80s. She looks like she about 30 years old. She eats all of her food raw. You know, individuals they got high blood pressure, heart failure, chronic kidney disease, and diabetes gotta limit the salt intake. You should only be at 1,500 milligrams of salt per day. That's about 2 to 3 uh, teaspoons of salt. If you're thirsty, drink water instead of juice or soda. And a lot of people don't understand that juice has a lot of sodium in it too, as well as a lot of sugar. Yeah, no problem, Jelly Bean. I see you doing your gaming thing, man. Uh, they just came out with another one. Oh man, what was that? It's a game that came out. It's a game that came out. It's about a man and a woman. They just advertised it. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about for my gamers out there. But salute to you, Jelly Bean. Um, and these are my final things right here. Like I told you, stop, man, cut down on smoking. Just stop smoking. Um, make sure you're getting your rest. Not too short, not too long. Anywhere from about, just a good quality sleep. Anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And another big thing is manage your stress level and spend time with your loved ones. You'll be surprised at how much stress that takes off of your heart and how good it makes your heart feel. What's up with it, Hitman? I see you in the building. Y'all boy, y'all go salute to my subscribe to my boy Hitman X, man. Definitely got a good page, knows sports, knows basketball, and just a good brother all the time. He always stood ten toes down with me on this channel. But like I said, man, heart disease is not nothing to play with. You know, for my fellas out there, heart disease has a lot to do with you not performing right in the bedroom. Some of y'all don't want to hear that, but if your heart ain't functioning right and your blood ain't pumping right, and you got something going on and you can't get it up down there or something like that on an occasion, it's got it 9 times out of 10 it's going to have to do with your high blood pressure, or it's going to have to do with your heart, and you got to make sure that you watching that. We living in a time now, y'all, where if you don't have any of these underlying, and I'm gonna be going through all of these underlying issues: high cholesterol, high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I did heart disease. Strokes. We're gonna be talking about the lungs. I'm gonna be talking about it all because everybody ignores everything about it. Diabetes, all of it. Everybody just sits here and ignore it, and then you wanna do it when it's too late. No, when too little, too late. No, proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got it. You got to do that. You got to do it ahead of time. You got to do it ahead of time. If you don't get on this stuff and manage it ahead of time, man, we talking about your life here. And I know some people, they don't really care. Oh well, if I die, I die. Oh well. Well, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them type of people. And you shouldn't be either, especially if you have a family. You should want to see if you have kids, or you have a lady or something like that, and you have a circle around. Y'all should want to grow with one another and make sure everybody's doing all right. You should encourage that person that's right around you. Okay, hey, look, you might want to go to the doctor and get that checked out. If you're afraid to go to the doctor by yourself, I'm saying, especially during this time, take somebody with you that you could trust, so they could be supportive of you. Because a lot of people, they don't like hospitals. They don't like being in doctors. I don't like doctors that have a white coat on. I suffer from white coat syndrome. Let that sink in. Nah, white coat syndrome pretty much is every time you see somebody in a white coat, you start getting nervous. But nah, you just gotta uh face the music, man. But hope y'all enjoyed this, man. I'm not gonna harp on this too long. Just something to raise awareness, man, especially amongst our brothers and our sisters, and pretty much everybody. But y'all like this video, share it, subscribe. Also hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. I thank everybody for pulling up. Uh, Marco, Matt Moses, TJ, Jelly Bean, Hitman, and I appreciate y'all pulling up. No doubt, Hitman, no doubt. But until then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT, man. I'm gonna get at y'all later.